Hey, class, this is Ventures Level 2, Unit 9 on Daily Living. This will be for Monday, June 1st, and this is our Part 1. Last Wednesday, we started covering workbook page 110. We got through the email, and now we're going to do Part 2. So if you haven't done Part 2, go ahead and stop the video and complete Part 2. You're going to answer the questions. You're going to use the information that we discussed in the email in Part 1, and please write in full sentences, okay? So go ahead, stop the video, and complete Part 2. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the Part 1 and get ready for Part 2. Okay, so Part 2 says, number 1, who sent the email? Jim Brown. So what I would like for you to do is, when you answer these questions, I want you to say Jim Brown sent the email. I want you to write in full sentences, please. Okay, so number 1 should look like this. Number 2, list all the apartment numbers in the email. The apartment numbers in the email are 201, 412, 605, and 822. Okay? So once again, we are using complete sentences. Number 3, what is the subject of the email? The subject of the email is apartment problems. Okay, so number 3, the subject of the email is apartment problems. Number 4, who is the email written to? Who is the email written to? The email is written to Miss Torrent. Okay, so the email was written to Mrs. Torrent. Okay, number 5, how many people are upset? How many people are upset? There are 4 people upset. Okay, what does upset mean? Upset can be like mad or angry. Okay, yeah, because they're upset about the apartment problems. Okay, and number 6, the last one, who should reply to Mrs. Torrent? Who should reply, Mrs. Torrent reply to? Who should Mrs. Torrent reply to? So when it says who, we know that it's a person. You can say Mrs. Torrent, or she should reply to Jim Bowen. Okay? So she needs to reply to Jim Bowen. Okay? Because it says that in the last sentence at the bottom of the email. Okay, so once again, go ahead, check your answers, make any corrections that you need to make, and then you can stop the video and do the email on page 111. The email on page 111. You're going to use the list of problems to fill it in. So you're going to have to match the apartment number with the problem. So It says, I am a tenant in your apartment building at 78 Hill Point. I'm writing to you about some problems. Apartment 1B has a cracked tub. So if you look up here, you'll see 1B and it will say cracked tub. So you're going to have to match the apartment with the problem to fill in the email. Okay? So you can go ahead and stop the video and fill that in, and then we can check it together. I'm going to go ahead and erase all of that and put up that we're working on workbook, page 111. Okay? All right, this is a part 3. Right? And we just did number 1, and it was a cracked tub. The blank in apartment 2B is, okay, so if we look at 2B, we see toilet, or dishwasher, I'm sorry. Wait, let's see. Okay, yes, the dishwasher. So we're looking at the dishwasher is going to be what has the problem, right? And in apartment 4B is what's wrong with the dishwasher? It's leaking. The dishwasher is leaking. The tenants in apartment 2C have what? What do the tenants in 2C have? They have a clogged toilet. Also, the blank in apartment 3A. 3A has a stove that is broken. Okay? And the tenants can't use it. Would you please call the repair person? The what in apartment 6A is what's wrong with it. So 6A has carpet and it is stained. Okay? So let's read that email together now that we have filled it in. I am a tenant in your apartment building at 78 Hills Point Road. I am writing to you about some problems. Apartment 1B has a cracked tub. The dishwasher in apartment 4B is leaking. The tenants in apartment 2C have a clogged toilet. Could you please call a plumber to fix these problems? Also, the stove in apartment 3A is broken. The tenants can't use it. Could you please call a repair person? The carpet in apartment 6A is stained. You need to clean it. You need to fix these problems right away. Your tenants are upset. Please call me at 825-555-1574. Thank you for your attention. Sincerely, Claire Valdez, apartment 5C. Okay, who wrote the email? Who wrote the email? Claire, right? Claire Valdez wrote the email. Who did she send it to? Who was the email to? If we look up here, we say Tree Lake 45 at web, but that doesn't tell us the name of the person, but if you look at the email, it says, Dear Mr. Tree Lake. So the email is written to Mr. Tree Lake, right? What's the subject of the email? What's the subject of the email? It's, again, apartment problems, right? Because she lists a bunch of different things in different apartments that need to be fixed or repaired. Okay? What apartment does Claire live in? What apartment does Claire live in? She lives in apartment 5C. Apartment 5C. Okay? All right. So we are finished with the workbook for this video. If you want to go ahead and put it away and get out your student book, and we'll continue with that on page 118. I'm going to stop the video and clear the screen and get ready to start page 118. Okay guys, I was wrong about the page number. We're not going to start with 118, we're going to start with page 119. And so go ahead and open up your student book, the one we use in class, the blue cover, to page 119. And we see a list of 6 pictures and problems. Let's go ahead and I'm going to say the vocabulary, and you can repeat after me. So this is just more practice with pronunciation. Broken, broken, clogged, clogged, cracked, cracked, jammed, jammed, leaking, leaking, stained, stained. Okay, so we're going to use those 6 words to fill in the blanks on problems at 2914 5th Street. Okay, so number 1, what do we see? The carpet is, what's wrong with the carpet? The carpet is stained. Okay, see the big mark on the carpet? Number 2, the front door lock is jammed. They probably can't get the key out, so it's jammed. The bedroom walls are, and number 3, the bedroom walls are cracked. And number 4, the living room window is, it's broken, broken. And number 5, the refrigerator is leaking, leaking. Number 6, last one, and the kitchen sink is clogged. Okay, so go ahead and you can fill those answers in. You should have been keeping up with me and doing that together. Now we're going to practice writing an email or letter that's a complaint, okay? So if it's an email, it's going to be a little bit different than a letter, because we're going to have to write like the to, right? And we're going to have to write the subject. And then we're going to have to write the from. Okay? So you won't have to write those if you're writing a letter. This is for an email, right? So let's use the names on page 118. So we're going to write to the landlord, Derek. And we're going to use his name. He's our landlord, right? And our subject, once again, is going to be apartment problems. Okay? And this is going to be from, this is going to be you. You are writing the email. Okay? So your name should be in the from. And actually it should be probably your email address would go there. Okay? So just pick an apartment number. You can use the address on page 118, and you can write a complaint letter. You can use the complaint letters on page 118 of the student book, and you can also use the emails on page 110 and 111 as a template, as a guide. So you may want to start with Dear Mr. Betcher. Now, some emails you don't have to do that, but if you're writing a letter, you for sure have to write that in the letter. And then we're going to tab over, because remember, we always want to leave this gap right here to start a paragraph. And you're going to say, I am a tenant at, and we're going to use the address on the book. You don't have to use your own address. Especially since some of us don't live in an apartment. So we're just going to, you can use your own address because nobody else is going to see it, but you can use the one in the book too. Okay? And we're going to say, I am writing to you about problems in my apartment. Okay, so now what I want you to do is look on page 119 and pick a couple of those problems. I'm going to say in my apartment. We're only talking about us. We're not talking about the whole building. In my apartment, the carpet is stained and the window is broken. Now you can please use different ones. That's the two that I'm gonna pick. We're gonna ask them to send a repair person. Could you please send a repair person to fix these immediately? Okay. All right, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. And we want to let him know where he can contact us. Oh, and remember, that's a different paragraph, so we're going to indent right there. Okay? Same thing here. You can reach me at, I'm going to use the number in the book, 513. But if you're writing a real email or letter, you would use your own phone number. Because you want, if you have any questions or want to set up a time for repairs. Okay, and then we're going to say, thank you for your attention to these issues or problems, whichever one. I'm going to sign my name, Angela Monroe, and I'm going to put my apartment number so they know where to find me. Apartment should know, but this makes it easy. 4B. Okay, so this is how you do it if you're writing a letter. This is, but you can also put it on an email. These are, these definitely only go on an email. In each paragraph, see the indentation, right? And here we told them what we're writing about. We told them this tells them what we'll be talking about. This tells them what we want, and this tells them where they can reach us, and then we're thanking them. So what I would like for you to do is practice writing your own email or letter, and just pick a couple of problems from page 119. You're also welcome to use any of the addresses and names in the book if that helps. But if you would like for me to look over it after you've typed it up, go ahead and send it to angelamonroe1@gmail.com, and I will look over it and I will get it back to you. Okay, so that's all the time we have for video 1. I will see you in just a couple minutes, and we will start part 2.